former civilization. The first thing I want to argue is that the former civilization is running into pretty profound crisis in its relationships to the rest of the nature, which we do and what we have depended on for survival and for flourishing, and this is the most widely and well recognized in relation to climate change. Carbon dioxide emissions, greenhouse gas emissions, but I want to argue the certain dangers in the way that has been presented as the central question that we have to address. Because it is interlocked with a number of other crises, this is most noticeably on the crisis is in access to fresh water, crisis in access to food, biodiversity loss on a huge scale, and associated problems of human equality, not just in a common world, but actually in the kinds of environmental resources and pleasures that I can enjoy. So, all those together have to be looked at an interconnected set of really deep, profound crises. خلاص.
The lecture has focused on the definition and the dimension of former civilization, which argues that the former civilization is pretty conflict with the human being environmental safety, which affect the carbon dioxide emission and increasing the climate energy, and also affect the crisis of access to pure water and food. And also here the lecturer has focused on human inequality to reach to resources and the places to enjoy.
تمام.
35 ولا أكتر؟
أقول لحضرتك يا دكتور. خدنا 45.
في مشكلة في الوقت.
احنا بقى نظبطها دي مع التدريب إن شاء الله.
إيه؟
نظبطها مع التدريب دي إن شاء الله.
طب والمعنى يعني مظبوط ولا أنا بقلب حاجات؟
لا أنا حسيت المرة دي غيرت المعنى شوية. المرة دي غيرت المعنى شوية. يعني خدت
والعمار وكده، وإن إحنا بقى في يعني فرق بين إن إحنا يعني كإنسان بيتمدن بس بيأثر على حاجات تانية. ده اللي أنا فاهمه، صح؟
هو بيتكلم يعني بيقول لك إن الحضارات السابقة داخلة على أو الحضارة داخلة على أزمة. داخلة على أزمة في علاقتها بالطبيعة.
كونفليكت مع الطبيعة بقى. الوصول للمية والوصول للأكل.
وبيقول لك إن إحنا لسنين طويلة اعتمدنا للحياة على الطبيعة دي، ودي حاجة مرتبطة بالموضوع climate change اللي هي الكربون دايوكسيد emission والجرين هاوس افكت. بس إن الخطورة كسؤال رئيسي يعني لازم نجاوب عليه، اللي مرتبطة بالموضوع ده هتبقى ليها علاقة بالوصول إلى الماء النظيف أو العذب والطعام وخسارة البايودايفرسيتي اللي هي التنوع البيئي والمشاكل المتعلقة بالعدالة بين البني آدمين.
أنا قلت human inequality وقلت الكربون دايوكسيد emission crisis about access to food وبيور water. بس هي خدت وقت كتير يعني معرفش.
خدت وقت. هي برضو خلي بالك القطعة نفسها برضو مش مرتبة قوي يعني. طيب نخش مثلا على الانفنشن. جاهز يا دكتور؟
هو أذكر كلمة former civilization الحضارة الحديثة، صح؟
الحضارة الفورمر يعني الأخيرة يعني أو يعني
الحديث اللي هي مش موجودين فيها دلوقتي. اوكي.
المفروض السابقة يعني، بس هي استخدامها غريب اصلا مع civilization يعني. الغريب يا دكتور ان انا ساعات بلاقي في القطع اخطاء سبيلنج، دي حاجة غريبة على امتحان انجليزي يعني، بس مش عارف ده ازاي بيحصل. يمكن عشان الكتب دي بتبقى نقلة الكلام مثلا، يبقى هم الناس اللي كاتبينه يعني بيبقوا اللي هو يعني الناس حضرت يعني، فتقريبا بيبقوا مصورينه او حاجة، لان هي معظمها predictions. طيب نخش مثلا يا دكتور على الانفنشن. invention اللي هو اختراع طبعا. All of my research and that I conducted was my 60 plus graduate students was motivated by their need to learn, so that we can teach. Of course, in some inventions happened along the way, but I have always considered the end result, and I always consider that this invention to be byproducts of the learning process. The end product for me was always better understanding. Sorry, or when one really succeeded in unifying theory that can help us in teaching the subject. I have also looked at teaching as a vehicle to try new ideas of new ways to doing things on an intelligent group of learners. That is as the vehicle for the teaching research results. And in my experience, this kind of teaching is the most stimulating and motivating to students. I am also uncovered many interesting research problems is the cause of teaching assumption. It is this unity of research and teaching, their close connection, and the benefits gathered by exercising and the interplay that to me recognized the successful professor. خلاص كده.
The lecture talking about the researching is a need for many students. More than 60 plus of them are always considering the invention as a byproduct of education, and the main focus of the lecturer is his main target is understanding of his student as end product of his teaching process. He has tried the new idea of on his intelligent group in working as a teaching by invention.
stop يا دكتور، خلاص كده خلصنا 40 ثانية. خلصنا 40 ثانية.
Okay, and this very interesting to his students.
تمام. طب يا دكتور طارق، انا عايز اطلب من حضرتك حاجة. عايزك تاخد جمل كاملة phrases، عشان انت بتغلط غلطة الناس اللي بياخدوا key words ويركبوا عليها الجمل، فبتطلع المعاني مختلفة، ودي ال AI هيلقطها.
يعني اخد الجملة كاملة.
جملة كاملة، يعني حاول تلقط جملة كاملة. يعني وقع منك punctuation، وقع منك conjunction، ماشي. جملة وفوت جملة، احنا قلنا كده كده مش هتسمع.
بتاخد يعني انا مثلا وانا بكتب وانت بتتكلم فهسقطك.
ما انا فاهم، ما احنا قلنا مش هنعرف نكتب ونسمع في نفس الوقت، فانت هتكتب جملة وبعدين تسقط مثلا نص جملة وبعدين تكتب جملة كده. حتى انا بتعمد اقرا بالراحة شوية عشان هو في الامتحان هيبقى اسرع شوية كمان.
مم.
اقول
اتفضل يا ريس.
ماشي يا دكتور. Eukaryotes and prokaryotes. Your body is composed of trillions of cells.
معلش تاني ايه
حاضر.
العنوان ايه؟
Eukaryotes and prokaryotes.
يعني
Eukaryotes اللي هي الكائنات المتقدمة زي الإنسان والنباتات، اللي هي كائنات developed يعني. البروكاريوتس هي البكتيريا والكائنات البسيطة اللي هي ما عندهاش سيل ممبرين، ما عندهاش نيوكلير ممبرين في السيل بتاعتها.
برو BRO
بروكاريوتس وايوكاريوتس او يوكاريوتس.
يوكريتس
كاريوتس.
كرييت يعني من
لا كاريوت دي لاتيني. كاريوت اللي هي KARUOTES. كاريوت UOTES.
اوكي. ايوكاريوتس وبروكاريوتس.
اوكي. Your body is composed of trillions of cells. Lots of different types of cells that make up different organs and other parts of your body. Your body is also where 10 times that number of bacteria calls home sweet home. But don't be afraid, these bacteria do more good than harm to you. And besides, just in case you wanted to strike up a conversation with your tenants, you and your bacteria do have a few things in common. All cells share some common characteristics that make them living things. All organisms are composed of cells, the basic fundamental unit of life. They contain DNA as a heritable genetic material, and they can reproduce. They transcribe DNA into RNA and translate RNA into proteins on ribosomes. They can also regulate transport across a cell membrane and require chemical energy for some cellular processes. Organelles are the biggest difference between bacteria and cells that make up the human body. Organelles. In this lesson, we discuss the similarities of differences between eukaryotic cells of your body and prokaryotic cells such as bacteria. Eukaryotes organize different functions within specialized membrane-bound compartments called organelles. These structures does not exist in prokaryotes. خلصت كده.
Okay. The lecture is talking about our body is composed of trillions of cells. وانا لو هو بيقول your body اقول your body ولا اقول our body؟ يعني احاول
عادي. لا ما تحاولش حاجة، عادي زي ما هي.
اوكي.
نبدأ من الأول.
Okay. The
ماشي،
lecture is
اتفضل.
talking about your body is composed of trillions of cells. Your body is home of 10 times of your cells number as a bacteria, which is beneficial for its function. They contain their DNA and can multiply by producing other cells and also producing RNA. The main difference between eukaryotics and prokaryotics, the eukaryotics is cells has organelles which is not there in the prokaryotics.
تمام كده خدنا 35 ثانية.
انا خدت جمل كده.
حلو كده قوي. حلو كده قوي. ماشي.
بس في جمل سقطتها طبعا.
ماشي مش مشكلة. ما انا قلت لك هتاخد 30 ل 40% من الكونتنت. يعني هو مش عايز منك اكتر من كده يعني.
بس انا قلت زي ما هو قايل your body is composed of
حلو قوي
cells.
حلو قوي حلو قوي. بس لما تقول the lecture talks about او discusses كذا، حط العنوان اللي هو eukaryotes and prokaryotes مثلا.
اوكي فهمت عليك.
ماشي.
يعني لازم اختار. اوكي
ماشي. تعال نشوف بقى medical school دي. medical school. It seems like only yesterday that I was sitting where you are, just finishing my first year of medical school and wondering if I would حاضر يا دكتور. It seems like only yesterday that I was sitting where you are, just finishing my first year of medical school and wondering if I would never get a chance to use all my new knowledge on a real life patient. Well, I have good news for you. You don't have to wait until your third or fourth year of medical school to get some hands-on experience. The Dean has invited me here to tell you about the university's Rural Opportunity Program. If you enroll in this program, you can have the opportunity this summer, after your first year of medical school, to spend from 4 to 6 weeks observing and assisting as a real physician like me in a small rural community. You won't have to compete with other students for time and attention, and you can see what life as a country doctor is really like. The program was designed to encourage medical students like yourselves to consider careers in rural communities that are still understaffed. It seems that medical students are afraid to go into rural family practice for two reasons. First, they don't know much about it, and second, specialists in the cities usually make more money. But on the upside, in rural practice, doctors can really get to know their patients and be respected members of the community. I participated in the program when it first started and spent 6 weeks in a small rural town. Let me tell you, it was really great. I got to work with real patients. I watched the birth of a child, assisted an accident victim, and had lots of really practical hands-on experience, all in one summer. And to my surprise, I found that country life has a lot to offer that city life doesn't. No pollution or traffic jams, for instance. My experience made me want to work where I am needed and appreciated. I don't miss the city at all. تمام يا دكتور.
The lecture is talking about the medical schools. It seems like yesterday I have finished my first year of medical school. If you as a medical school student would like to contact with the patient directly, you can enroll in this program. It's in your summer vacation. You can spend within 6 to 8 weeks like a real physician to contact with a rural community. This program is very important to you for two reasons. The first one, you will be respected as a real physician by this community, and also most of doctors there is very few, as they like to live in city. I promise you will not miss the city if you have experienced the life in country community.
رائع 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 رائع. المرة دي أحسن مرة. خدت كلام من جمل كاملة، حطيت أكتر من 50% من الكونتنت في خلال 40 ثانية. شكرا لك يا دكتور. طيب تعال نشوف مثلا setting up a website. Hello everyone. Today's lecture is about setting up a website. I'm going to be focusing on things that you need to consider, ensuring your website really adds value to the people using it. So, there are three main areas you need to think about. The first and most important thing is who is your target audience. When you're creating a new website, you really need to think about who the users are and what information they'll be looking for. What we do when we set up websites is to group users based on their needs. So, for a website in the academic community, for example, we may have groups such as researchers and administrators, and this helps us design the site and add information that is relevant to each group. The second point is accessibility. The main thing here is to ensure your website can be found, and you can do this by making sure it can be reached from areas on the web where your target audience are also active. So, this may mean providing links on other websites or maybe using social media. And thirdly, retention, making sure your target audience returns to your website regularly. You can do this by ensuring it gives them a reason to come back. So it's important to keep the site up to date and make sure it provides the latest news and interesting information and so on. تمام كده.
The lecture is talking about setting up website. Today I'm going to illustrate the three pillars to make the website is valuable for people who are reaching to this website. The first one is know your target audience. The second point is accessibility and how they can find your website and reach for it. And you can promote for this through social media. The third point is retention for them and making them return back for a reason.
ما شاء الله.
And latest news and so on.
10/10 في 40 ثانية بالظبط خلصت كل النقط. ما شاء الله عليك يا دكتور. انت كده عرفت النظام يعني. حاسس ان انت بقت سهل عليك دلوقتي صح؟
انا كنت الاول باخد الكلمات الكي وورد بس هو الاو اي تي كان في السبيكنج تاخد الكي وورد يمكن عشان كده الواحد متعود.
انت هنا ممكن تاخد الكي ووردز بس هتقعد بقى تركب جمل دي هتاخد منك وقت وممكن تغير المعنى.
انت قلت لي لا خد
جملة كاملة اسهل. اسهل.
اوكي.
طيب ناخد بقى يا دكتور قطعة. احنا دلوقتي احنا عندنا 45 قطعة. تعال ناخد مثلا القطعة 38 دي. تاخد ميلاتونين ولا سميل ولا دانسينج بي؟
لا
ميلاتونين. طيب الصيادلة دول يا اخي. لا بس عجبتني 3 pillars. حطيت كلمة انت جديدة وبتاع. 3 pillars وبتاع. ماشي. melatonin. I'm just going to take on the stuff where left off. The whole I want to now talk about is called melatonin, and the synthesis is in the pineal gland, which is very small. It is the size of a pea in your brain. The corpus is the site of the soul, and it is where melatonin is made. And it has a rhythm as well. And in the sense, it is opposite of the callosum. It peaks at night. We call it as the darkness hormone. In every species that we studied, melatonin occurs at night, and it's hormone that prepares you for the things that your species does at night. So, of course, in humans, we sleep, but animals like rodents, they are awake. It's hormone that is related to darkness behavior. تمام كده خلصت.
Okay. The lecture is talking about melatonin. The melatonin is a hormone coming from pineal gland. It's the size of the pea in your brain. Also, it has a rhythm as well. It peaks at night, and we call it as a darkening hormone. That the human being is related with it. As our species is linking the darkening with sleep.
Darkness.
Not like predators. The human being is related to darkness because it's very important for getting sleep.
تمام. 40 ثانية بالظبط أو 45. عدينا المرة دي ب5 ثواني. بس تمام overall ممتاز. طيب تعالى يا دكتور. عندنا civilization، عندنا British Standard Institute و overfishing. اختار واحدة منهم، دي هتبقى آخر واحدة. Overfishing. Aquaculture. The farming of fish, shrimp, shellfish, and seaweeds has been the sources of human protein for nearly 4,000 years, especially in Asia. In the last decade, however, there has been unprecedented growth in aquaculture production, more than 300% since 1984, which has increased the importance of modern food supply. It's the world's fastest growing food production activity, and globally, more than 25% of the odd fishing and shellfish production in 1999 was attributable to aquaculture. Yes, this industry's contributions to human diet are actually greater than the numbers imply, whereas 1/3 of the conventional fish catch is used to make fish meal and fish oil. Virtually all farmed fish are used as human food. Today, nearly 1/3 of fish consumed by human is the product of aquaculture. And that percentage will only increase as aquaculture expands the world's conventional fish catch, for the oceans and lakes continues to decline because of overfishing and environmental damage. تمام.
The lecture is talking about the overfishing and its relation of aquaculture for shrimp and shells and seaweeds. The present industry and the production of fishing is representing 300% of the previous modern production of fishing. This industry is covering the fresh meat and the fish meat and the fish oil, and one of each 3 fishes coming from aquaculture. This is compensate the decline of ocean and lake production of fish due to environmental damage.
تصفيق حاد. بالظبط في 40 ثانية خلصت كل البوينتس. برافو يا دكتور. الحمد لله اتدربنا كده كويس عليها. ده كده ما كانش موجود بقى في الPTE ماجيك الريتال ليكتشر، احنا كده عوضناه من هنا ان شاء الله. يعني احنا كده خدنا الانسر شورت كويستشن والريتال ليكتشر والريد الاود الديسكرايب ايمج، وطبعا الايمج باي تشارت. والحمد لله احنا كده ماشيين كويس يعني. دي معظم الاسئله وانسر شورت كويستشن وريبيت سنتنس، خدنا كل ده الحمد لله.
تمام.
ايه تاني
كلنا
يا
كده
دكتور؟
ما خلصنا.
بص يا دكتور، احنا الحمد لله ماشيين كويس يعني. اللي جاي بقى هو اللي احنا خدناه ده عليه مثلا اكتر من 50% اللي احنا وصلنا له لغايه دلوقتي من الدرجات يعني. اللي جاي بقى ان شاء الله هيبقى ايه؟ حاجات فيها برضو اختيار، فيها MCQs، فيها spelling mistakes بتصلحها، فيها ترتيب يقولك رتب الباراجرافز. يعني بيتهيألي اسهل من اللي فات، اللي جاي متهيألي اسهل من اللي فات. ان شاء الله يعني نمشي بنفس الريت كده وبالتوفيق يا دكتور طارق ان شاء الله.
ان شاء الله يا دكتور. ماشي يا دكتور.
ربنا يحفظك.
شكرا لحضرتك.
شكرا يا دكتور، شكرا، ربنا يكرمك. السلام عليكم. ودي يا دكاترة كانت محاضرة الPTE الخاصة بالريتال ليكتشر. دي الجزء التاني مع الجزء الأولاني طبعا. عايزكم تشوفوا التو بارتس، واللي حابب طبعا يشترك معانا في باكدج الهجرة الشامل للصيادلة، واللي هو بيشمل تحضير لاختبار الصيدلة الأوبرا إكزام، والتحضير لاختبار الPTE أكاديميك اختبار اللغة الإنجليزية، والمساعدة في ترتيب الأوراق وتقديم الملف وتقديم EOI والدعوات والفيز إن شاء الله. تفضل بالتواصل معايا على الواتساب 010-6-3-7-9-5-0-9-6، ومن خارج مصر حط +2. وشوفكم الفيديو اللي جاي. دكتور محمد فاضل. السلام عليكم.